Wednesday. We take a look at the team leaderboard. UCLA has moved into the top spot, but the real focus here, folks, is around 7, 8, 9, and 10. That is that mad dash. Who gets inside that top 8 so they can advance to the quarterfinals. But a disappointing week for Alabama. At the second, Lydia Johansson of Oklahoma State getting set to play her second.
Where should I aim? Right at the flag? Because I don't want to go too much more right, because then I put these in place.
Right. If you just go at that left side of the bunker,
yeah,
or the sticking right behind it, and just go straight through. Trust it, that 9-iron will glide through there.
I'll be honest, I'm very surprised with this play. She has a terrible lie. The ball is buried in the rough. She has 128, and the trees on the left are in her way. She had no chance there.
Brose of Oklahoma State has a par putt. They need her score. Remember, the top 4 scores for the team count. Oklahoma State right now in the 8th spot. So a bogey coming up for Brose. To 10.
Virginia Ellen Carta getting ready to hit her tee shot. Billy Ray, it has been a dominating performance so far, hasn't it?
It certainly has. It's been quite impressive. But also, Kurt, you see Driver here with that big lead. You would think most players would be playing 3-wood. She's going to continue to keep the pedal to the metal here.
Boy, there is some serious clubhead speed right there. Bunkers on both sides of this fairway at 10, but she's not anywhere near them. Great drive.
Eugene Country Club, par 72 for the Women's Division I Championship. First organized in 1899, designed by H. Chandler Egan in 1923. The 1904 and 05 U.S. Amateur Champion and the silver medalist at the 04 Olympics, has hosted 4 USGA Championships. 1964 U.S. Junior Amateur, Johnny Miller was 17 years of age. Hosted the 2008 U.S. Women's Amateur. Amanda Blumenhurst set the course record that was broken this week by Caroline Inglis with her 65 on Saturday. Shots are so important here for Oklahoma State. Right now they're in a tie for the 8th spot. Top 8 teams advance. Nicole, any issue with the lie?
Well, it's more so the tree limbs that she's got to keep it underneath. She's honestly in worse position now than she was back on the second shot. At this point, Karen, I mean, you just got to get this ball back in play and try to minimize the damage here.
Karen, let's take a closer look at the par 4 second.
And this is a big dog leg to the right. And typically a nice little fade off this tee would be ideal for all the players, but most of the players out here playing do hit a draw, so running through that left side is definitely on. The second shot over water on the right-hand side, incredibly slopey green, sloping from back to front.
So Johansson now playing her 3rd shot at the par 4 second.
This is from 106 yards based on her practice swings. Looks like she's just trying to punch it out there and run it on the front portion of the green, but she does have that water to contend with. Short right of this green.
She's in the 8th spot in the individual, but she's worrying about the team right now. So not able to get it on the green. Leona McGuire of Duke.
Got an uphill putt here for birdie. Last year's Player of the Year. A little bit of a tough go here this week.
Well, Leona McGuire on the watch list for the Annika Award, a past champion, a winner last year. She was a freshman at Duke. Allison Lee victorious in 2014. Over to 17.
Haley Moore of Arizona has this for eagle just off the green. She's going to use putter.
And quite a smart play. The fringes are rolling quite smoothly.
Karen, I think for a lot of the East Coast, Southeast players, these Poa annua greens have been an adjustment for them. It's been tough.
I think this whole course has been an adjustment for them.
Now, fourth shot for Linnea Johansson of Oklahoma State.
From 88 yards, going a little right.
She will have a long bogey putt. Right now, Oklahoma State and Northwestern are tied for the 8th spot at plus 12. A look at Virginia Elena Carta of Duke leading in the individual competition. We had a chance to ask her on why she's playing so well here in Eugene, Oregon.
I think this course is really similar to the Europeans one, so for sure it's kind of an advantage to play in this course. But I'm putting really well, I'm reading the greens pretty well, so that is helping me a lot.
And we've seen her make a couple of long putts for birdie today, and seeking to become the 4th individual champion from Duke and become the 8th freshman on the women's side to win the individual championship.
And Steve mentioned it earlier about how she's been progressing. She's been putting in some good finishes, coming down into leading into this tournament, and that it takes some adjustment to even come from another country as a freshman to get to school and to do that. So that's probably why we're seeing that happen.
Well, obviously, for the players, they can use the Bushnell technology, unlike on the PGA Tour. Karen Chung of USC. Billy Ray Brown with this group.
Well, 117 yards, and the correct entryway to this green up the left-hand side. There are some hanging branches on that right-hand side, but a very gettable hole location here today on that front portion of the green.
Good look from behind Carta's ball, dead center of the fairway here, Billy Ray, and a good look.
A great look, and why not? The way she's playing right now. Play driver off this tee, 356 yards of par 4, just a slight helping breeze.
Yesterday, she shot 66, 6 birdies, no bogeys yesterday. She's gotten better every day. 69, 68, 66. She's 4 under on her round right now.
Now, this is a beautiful opportunity to add one more to the way she's playing right now, just 112 yards. Green does slope a little bit from left to right. Hey, Kurt, she creates a lot of speed and also spin, and I think that's helped her.
Yeah.
And there's a perfect example of it right there.
Yeah. Haley Moore did make birdie over at 17 while we were away. This is the 14th hole, the par 3. Kay Cockrell down there with this group.
Yeah, Kurt, Caroline is taking a lot of deep breaths, trying to recompose herself. She's the senior leader of this team, and she's got to find a way to flip it around and make a few birdies coming in. Looks, oh man, that had a great line, but obviously too much.
Tough to get the right club. That's an elevated tee.
Linnea Johansson of Oklahoma State, long bogey putt at 2.
This would be some bogey. She really needs to regroup at this point.
Northwestern's Casey Komodo playing her second shot at the 5th. Started her round at the 10th. Northwestern currently in the 8th spot. Nice shot by Casey Komodo, setting up a birdie opportunity at the par 4 5th. Well, UCLA, USC, Duke, not a lot to worry about. Stanford, Washington in good shape, but then you start looking South Carolina playing well today. Then Northwestern, Oklahoma State, Arizona, Oregon, all in that race for the Linnea Johansson of Oklahoma State at the 2nd hole. Her 11th of the day. This for double bogey. And from a team standpoint, Oklahoma State has now dropped out of the top 8 with that double bogey. Northwestern now has a 2-shot lead. But the thing I must stress to our audience who's watching, These scores rapidly change around the golf course. Casey Komodo of Northwestern now with a birdie opportunity at 5. Couple that with the double bogey from Oklahoma State, and this could be a nice little swing in Northwestern's favor.
And that's what we were saying earlier, that every single shot that these players can either save or make makes all the difference in the world to the team standing.
And early in this final round, Oklahoma State was 6 under par as a team. So in the past 45 minutes or so, they've given back 8 shots. So it shows you how quickly it can swing.
And a lot of that, I think, you saw an emotional decision being made. She didn't trust that she could get up and down with a wedge in her hand.
Over to 10.
Carta has a putt for birdie at the 10th.
Well, very makeable too. It's back downhill. It's got a little pace, and these greens are absolutely perfect, Kurt. This one's going to have a little movement from left to right. Unique putting side, left hand low, index finger on the right hand goes down the shaft.
Grip looks very soft, though. Hands look very calm.
Oh, boy. When they don't go in, they look like they should have.
I think she was surprised that one didn't go in.
She'll stay at 17 under par with that par at the 10th and a 9-shot lead. On a mission. She obviously thought that had a good chance. You can tell by the reaction. Didn't miss by much. This is Karen Chung of USC. She has this for birdie.
Yeah, putting back up the hill, Kurt left it in a perfect position, was able to get it to go.
Southern Cal now sitting in that second spot. Again, we can't emphasize enough. Top 8 will play match play starting tomorrow.
Coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Golf Championships continues with team match play quarterfinals Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, live on Golf Channel. For more information on the 2016 Women's Golf Championship, go to ncaa.com, the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships, as we take you back out to 14.
And Caroline Inglis over at the back of the green at 14K.
Lucky she has a clean lie, down grain. Not much break to this chip.
Greens are quick, though. Look at this. What a great shot from there. That's straight downhill. Oregon fans out following her around today. Yeah, we talked about course record. Caroline Inglis got it done in that second round. 7 under par. Pretty good players on that list right there. Back to the fairway at 10, where Tennessee's Anna Newell getting ready to play her second shot. Tennessee made it as a team but missed the cut. Now playing as an individual. She's had a lot of success, Steve, at Tennessee.
She has, all conference performer, and opened up nicely here the first 2 rounds. 69, 67, struggled a bit on day number 3 with 75, but still one of the things I love about these championships, an opportunity to represent Tennessee. Even though the team hasn't made it, you can still go out and try to do your best, try to win a national championship as an individual.
She was asking for it to be right in the air, and it was right underneath the hole, too. That's a very simple putt. Not much break. Well done. Just a beautiful venue here, Eugene Country Club. Fairways tree-lined by these huge, beautiful fir trees.
Virginia Elena Carta visualizing her tee shot at 11.
I think what she's doing there, she's just trying to keep calm right now. She's got to be fairly excited.
Well, it was something I touched on the beginning of the show. Dan Brooks' main objective with her, dial things down. She's so passionate and so positive. Just do everything a step or two slower, because it will be there for her at that quote-unquote speed that she might feel is a little bit out of her, her element normally.
Yep.
And I can tell you, it's very interesting taking you out of your element, trying to win an individual title. She was up clapping for the birdie for Leona McGuire just up ahead. So her team is on her mind also.
She's pretty much carrying her team right now. She's so far ahead of everybody else.
She's 17 under. Duke as a team is 1 under. Bronte Law of UCLA. Right now they have the top spot at 8 under. She's first to play at 11.
Yeah, I'm really not sure exactly why she's first to play here. She made par back on the hole. Karen Chung made birdie. 151 yards, not a breath of wind.
Pro Tracer technology presented by Scott Trade. And what a perfect trace on that one for Bronte Law of UCLA, setting up a birdie opportunity at 11. Karen Chung of USC next to play.
Man, what I love about the majority of this golf course, the way the greens are framed by all the trees, it really gives the player a great visual, gives them great depth perception. Another good-looking swing there, just left of the hole. Very challenging, all the par threes here at Eugene Country Club.
We saw Virginia Elena Carta using her Bushnell measuring device. And we're dialed in at 151 yards at the 11th.
Yeah, I like her approach also. Again, indicating to me that she's gone over to the, not the extreme right-hand side of the tee box, but over the right-hand side, trying to create a little better angle. I would expect her to try to move this ball a little bit left to right. This whole location sits just atop of a ridge in the center of the green.
Taking pretty much dead aim at it.
Oh, this one out to the right, Karen.
And she'll have a long birdie putt. Karen, let's take a look at the swing of Virginia Elena Carta.
And you can see she has a really nice balanced position at the start. She has a really good wide takeaway, little shut club face at the top, but because she drives with her hips so quickly, so fast through, she's able to square things up nicely. The two things complementing each other and producing some great quality golf shots.
Carta was born in Milan before moving to a town northeast of Venice.
This is at the third. Stephanie Lowe from Northwestern for birdie.
I am very impressed with this young player. She has played very smart around this golf course, leaving herself in position to make pars out here.
Out of Fullerton, California, a freshman.
It's a great way to take away the pressure.
Over at 15, Petra Salko of Oregon has a birdie putt. They need to start making some birdies, and that's a big one.
Right now, the Ducks with the worst final round score. A lot of pressure on them being the host institution. Rhea Scott, their head coach, telling me earlier today, once we got through Ridley.
Over to 3.
This was just a moment ago. Linnea Johansson for birdie.
With a beautiful hybrid to this place, this would be some birdie after the last hole.
Oh, what a bounce back. Boy, you can tell how much it means, too.
And she knows it.
Nicole, Oklahoma State, right squarely on the bubble right now. Tied with Oregon for that last spot at 13 over par. Now back to 10. Anna Newell cleaning up after that great second shot in here. Made it a little tougher, Karen, than I thought you would.
Yeah, I thought that would be nicely in the middle, but that right edge was obviously favorable to her.
211.
Virginia Elena Carta has this left for her par. Billy Ray, not the best birdie putt. She had a long birdie putt, but we have not seen her have to deal with too much stress so far today.
Well, that was a very tough putt, and Karen, it was uphill, and she wasn't going to run it by. The last third of the putt goes back down the hill, and she played it safe, but now she's got a good 10 feet left for her par putt that's going to move her left to right.
And that didn't surprise me, the way she couldn't get her hands settled on the club. She wasn't comfortable.
I'm surprised, Karen, she didn't back off with that little not being comfortable and reset.
Yep, exactly. You should always reset if you're feeling that way.
That's her first bogey of the day, and her lead is 8. Casey Danielson of Stanford getting set to play her 3rd shot at 15. Stanford, the defending champions. Kay Cockrell with this group.
And she was a big part of that championship last year, going 3-0-0 in the match play portion. Casey's playing very nicely today, very steady, 2 under par, 2 birdies, no bogeys. Had an outside shot going for this par 5 and 2, but chose to lay up. I think going probably with the Stanford general plan to stay just steady today. Don't do anything overly dramatic.
Stanford currently in a tie for the 3rd position at even par as a team. Monte Law of UCLA has a birdie putt at 11.
A beautiful tee shot by Bronte back up the hill. Need to take advantage of this one.
She pours it in. UCLA now with a 5-shot lead. They're at 9 under in this race for the top 8. Win Young Kay of Washington playing her 3rd shot at 15.
Landed in Washington from Auckland, New Zealand. And an impressive freshman for Mary Lou Mollfleur's team. And not a very good wedge shot there by either player.
Take a look at the team scores and see Kay at 1 over on her round. Washington currently comfortably in the 5th spot as +1 for the team. Caroline Inglis of Oregon getting set to play her 3rd. Kay, what she have left?
Well, she laid up a little too close, I think. Got herself down there where she has 35 paces to the front. Another 24 to the hole. She has this par 5, and then the 17th is very reachable, so extremely important for her to make a couple of birdies.
You see the ever-changing leaderboard. Oregon at one point was in the 12th spot at +14. They've moved up, and now they sit in the 8th spot.
There is a little backstop just behind the hole and to the right that she can use.
Yeah, everything is just a bit off for her today, and she can't seem to flip it around.
I was looking backwards for that.
Oklahoma State's Kenzie Nyson playing her 2nd shot at the 5th. She started her round on the 10th hole. Oklahoma State currently in the 9th spot. And that spins off the front. So we go out to 12.
And Carter with her tee shot.
Well, coming off that first bogey of the day, the par 3, the 11th. This tee shot here going down the left-hand side. Possibly finds that fairway bunker down the left. Curtin, that's going to be some issues there if it's inside there for sure.
It carried the bunker, but it's in the heavy rough. It looked like it settled down, so still possibly some issues there. Just a reminder what's going on today. So 5 players on each team. The low force count, the low forest scores count per day. We will have an individual champion at the end of the day as well.
Casey Komodo of Northwestern has an important birdie putt. Northwestern currently in the 10th spot. She races that by. So a little work left for her par. Ahead to 16.
And Mariah Stackhouse of Stanford. What a dramatic finish it was last year. She was incredible down the stretch in her match.
And she was in tears after the 13th hole. I was speaking to Ann Walker, her coach, who said that she really had to give her a bit of a pep talk and said, don't worry about it, it's just one hole. And she was able to come back from that.
Great shot. Thank you. Great shot.
good shot there. So Mariah Stackhouse still playing some great golf. Stanford in great shot. Stanford at even par.
Well,
and Carter's second shot from that heavy rough.
Yeah, this ball sitting way down in this ryegrass, and Kirk, she's got some overhanging limbs about 20 yards in front of her. You'd like to flight it down, but you take the chance here of letting the hill of the club and the hosel catch and making this ball go to the left.
Karen, at least with her strength and her club head speed, she might be able to dig it out, as opposed to some of the girls that don't have that.
She has a huge advantage in that department, no question. But as Billy Ray was saying, the difficulty will be with the tree limbs that are ahead of her. But there is a little runway there that she could potentially run it up, although the ground is soft.
Well, Karen, it plays slightly back up the hill, 108 yards, and you hear the thickness of that grass. It's going to just come up short. It is really thick, this rough, and it's wet too from the recent rains just moments ago.
Yeah, pretty straightforward from there. Uphill. Probably play a little chip and run to the hole. To 15.
Caroline Inglis has a birdie putt for Oregon at 15.
Yeah, this putt should move just a tad to her right. Oh, that looked good. Almost the whole way.
Okay, maybe just a hair too much speed. But a par for Inglis there. Kenzie Nyson of Oklahoma State playing her third shot from just off the green. She gets it close. She'll be able to tap that in for her par. Oklahoma State currently at 12 over in a tie for the 8th. Casey Danielson has a putt at 15.
Yeah, she had a long, about a 50-footer for birdie, and this to come back for par. All in all, a good two-putt.
Casey Danielson in the championship last year defeated Baylor's Laura Lenardi by 2 shots.
This is Oregon's Kathleen Santoso for birdie at 16. Playing with Mariah Stackhouse. At one point, all 6 Pac-12 teams were within the top 8. So good performance out of the Pac-12 this year. This is Kathleen Chavo for birdie at 17. Bit of an unusual setup there, Karen, but she got it to go.
And stroke too, but there are many ways to get the ball in the hole, and if you watch any golf on TV, you know that you don't have to have a perfect putting stroke to make it work.
Now that's back-to-back birdies for here, and look at that. Oregon now moves into the top 8. Every shot is going to count. All right, back to 16. Mariah Stackhouse for birdie after that nice tee shot. Boy, she is just a solid competitor. Said after yesterday, she's feeling really good about her game. Good time to peak.
She peaked at the right time last year in the Women's Division I championship match. Baylor's Haley Davis hit one of the most incredible shots that you will see, Karen, at 16.
I was out there following the group, and I didn't think she would even attempt to go at that whole location. I thought she might just try for that front right side of the green, but that was impressive.
Mariah Stackhouse birdied 17. Now she needs to make this birdie at 18 to square up the match, and she does. With a national championship at stake, Haley Davis on the first extra hole needed to make this par putt to extend the match. It did not fall, and Stanford defeated Baylor in the match play final 3-2 to win its first national team championship. Take you out to 4.
And Stephanie Lowe for birdie.
Her pace has been very good all day. This putt is going to be bending from her left, moving to her right.
Stephanie, one of 2 freshmen on the Northwestern team this year. 2 sophomores on that team, as well as 1 junior. So good future there for Northwestern. This is Carter from off the green at 12.
Yeah, I like this play, Kurt, using putter back up the hill. Percentage play here. Back up, turning from right to left. A little overzealous there.
Yeah, that leaves a slight downhiller. All right, back to 4, Linnea Johansson. This is for par.
She's had all sorts of trouble on this hole. She hit her layup shot in the rough and then hit her 4th shot into the bunker and really had nothing from there.
Right, up and down for her, Nicole, the last few holes. And there's a look at it right there. The double at 2, the birdie, then the bogey. All right, this is at 16. Caroline Inglis from Oregon, her tee shot.
Second to hit in this group. She got a great visual off of Casey Danielson that just hit one up tight. Short iron. Looks like an 8 or a 9 iron.
Inglis, the only senior on the Oregon squad.
And that's the second par 3 that she's had at club too much. Perhaps a little bit of adrenaline flowing.
And all of a sudden, Oregon now a 3-shot cushion over Northwestern and Oklahoma State for that last spot at 8. It changes quickly, doesn't it? Back to the 12th green. Our leader at 16 under has a putt for par.
Well, it's interesting, too. You thought that first putt, Kurt, would come up just a bit short, but she was trying to go ahead and make that one. You know, it was long distance now. This one back down the hill. And you got to be careful here. If you don't carry enough speed into it, it's going to leak off to the right.
Karen, she's up by 8. If you're her coach, what are you telling her?
Keep playing one shot at a time. It's very easy to get ahead of the game, and because the closer you get to the end of the round, the more you start think about holding that trophy, what you potentially might say. You can't think about those things. You just have to think about that one shot at that one time. It's very cliche to say.
Boy, she just keeps pulling off
the
big shots, the good putts, maintains that 8-shot lead. While we have a moment, let's go down to Kay.
Thanks, Kurt. I'm alongside Rhea Scott, the head women's golf coach of Oregon. Any idea where you stand right now at this moment? It's ever changing.
It is ever changing. I know there's a lot of birdies out here, but there's also some bogeys. And that's kind of what we've said to our players is you take your medicine where when you're in the thick rough, you just get out of it with bogey because there are birdie opportunities. We saw yesterday that we were leading the field in birdies. So, you know, just keeping that optimism heading in, I think is going to be really key for our players.
You guys are well inside the mark, 6th starting the day. Just a half an hour ago, you were at 10th. Right now, apparently, you're just inside. You're in the mark to make match play. How are you going to handle things down these last couple holes?
You know what? It feels like regionals all over again, that anxiety of needing to make it within the number there. But all we want to do is post a score and get in since we teed off early, and hopefully let others come after that.
Well, thanks so far for hosting a great event. You guys, back to you.